Forge the path and lay the trail for those who come after, because odds are you won't make it. This is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Don't go away. Let me start by saying this. I usually don't play games right off of release. Typically, I have a long enough backlog, I usually end up waiting for sales. But I had my eye on this game, and it released, it had hype. And I mean hype.
It went viral.
It's already sold millions of copies and currently holds the highest rating on Metacritic for the entire year with what I last saw as a 93. Okay, that is literally almost as high as Metaphor Refantasio from last year, a game I thoroughly enjoyed. This has to be amazing, right? Right. Full warning here, I am not gonna glaze this game like a lot of people have. I don't think this is a masterpiece, and I think it has its flaws. Is it a bad game? No. That's the review in like 10 seconds. Let's get more into details though, and let's see if I can explain exactly what's good and bad about this game. Bitch! I'll go right at you, man. Run him like a demon. This guy sucks. Okay, this guy actually sucks. And arguably the best thing about this game, for me, is the concept. The story. Let's talk gameplay and story right away. On this fictional island, way off in the distance, is this giant rock face. Next to it, a ginormous lady called the Paintress. Gray, long flowing hair over her face. Once a year, she stands up and paints a number. Every year, she does the same thing with that number slowly ticking down. Slowly, the civilians of the town eventually realize whatever number she paints, if you're that age, you die. Over the years, it quickly becomes a race against time and the Paintress herself to send expeditions out to this island way out in the distance to try and kill the Paintress. It gets down to the point where you're at Expedition 33, where everyone of the age 33 dies. This means that literally if you're 32, you're the oldest person on the entire town, and you're really running out of time here. This concept is so cool. Like genuinely so cool. Playing as the main lead guy on Expedition 33 going out to the island, you genuinely have no idea. Like one of my first things I thought about this game was I have an insane curiosity as to what's going on here. Like a true, genuine, I have no idea what I'm getting into. When you land on that island and it goes to chaos, you feel like an ant in an elephant's world. You feel like you're in the 1400s as a farmer and you see an eclipse for the first time. Like, this is not natural. We are done. We mean nothing in this world. We are so fucked. Yup. We're fucked. Oh my god. We did not stand a chance. Slowly as you go through the story, you accumulate a few more expedition members to your party, and every time you progress, you just get a little bit closer to the Paintress. She just keeps getting closer and closer. I'm just getting closer and closer to the Paintress. The concept for the story is one of my favorite things, right? The way the story is told through Act 1 is really great. Like, literally, I was like, this is the hype. I get it. Okay. Here I go. Act 2? At the end of Act 2, in my opinion, they dropped the ball.
Not gonna wait, and Shaw going for the...
I'm saying it right here. I'm being the one guy who's sticking my hand up in a crowd of 10 out of 10s, and I'm saying the ending for Expedition 33 sucks. It felt like they totally overstretched the concept into a story that I just didn't care about. All of my curiosity from the beginning concept in the first act was thrown out the window and replaced with just like reactions that were like, huh? What? This is a non-spoiler review, so I can't really get into it too much. I will say that, like, there's this man on the island. There's this old man named Renoir. He basically is the main villain of the game, if I were to say a main villain. And you might be thinking, what about the Painters? Yeah, they like share the spotlight as villains. I don't know. I just, they dropped the ball on the ending, in my opinion. That's all I can really say. But what about combat? I've heard good things about the combat. Well, to me, it's okay. It does things that no other game has done before. That doesn't inherently make it a absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece, in my opinion. But let's just talk. Okay, turn-based combat. I've played a bunch of turn-based. But Expedition 33 adds in dodging and parrying and QTEs. Now, parrying time to me honestly always seemed like you had to parry a few frames later than I would have ever thought. The reward you get for parrying is you can eventually counterattack them, but honestly, you do so much damage in this game with some builds. I just stuck to dodging, which left me with a greater window to avoid enemy attacks. That's the funny thing about this game, by the way. If you are good at dodging attacks, you could literally play through the entire game without getting hit once. And that's kind of why I just stuck to dodging, because the risk and reward was not worth it for me on the parry side. Parrying, you need perfect timing. Now, it's not literally frame perfect, but you know, with the enemy attack animations, some of them are literally just totally bullshit. Hold it now! Hold now! Jesus fucking Christ. And if I wanted to parry bosses, like optional bosses on the side, like the attack animations are literally made as a memorization puzzle. Walk in, die to the first hit because he'll knock your entire health bar down in one shot. And hopefully over a few fights, you remember his attack pattern. Then you can go back and pray he doesn't have a second form or an extra attack halfway down the line. That's kind of why I just stuck to dodging. QTEs, I don't really care. Honestly, if I had the overall opinion, I would just take them out. The only thing they did for me was they made my eyes glue onto the QTE instead of the attack animation, so a lot of the times I couldn't enjoy the visual flair of some of the moves I was pulling off. But other than that, I'm not a QTE hater or anything, but it's whatever. But here's the actual interesting part of Expedition 33. Not the parry system, in my opinion. It's the fact that all of your combat strategy happens outside of combat.
I still think this is a good one.
Let me introduce you to Pictos. Pictos. Equipable items that will buff your character. Literally, like hundreds. Like, there are so many. Once you equip one and win 4 fights, specifically 4 fights, you can then equip them as a passive on all other characters. Which means after you unlock a Picto as a Lumina, which is the passive form, that means you can equip it on all playable characters. And you can build some unbelievable builds in this game. Total defense, total offense, health regain, lone fighter. You could literally play through this game 4 or 5 times and have a different build every time. That's impressive. It also offers a whole bunch of team chemistry options. Like, just for instance, there's a lot of increased critical on burning enemies kind of stuff, or increased damage, or, you know, on burning enemies. Well, Lune likes to burn enemies. Put a bunch of that burning stuff on Gustav or Verso or Mael, whatever, and boom, good team chem. All of your strategy in combat relies on pre-combat strategies to kind of plan and lay out your move set attacks. Here's my go-to. My build consisted like this. I ran Mael, Verso, and CL. Mael got to go twice because I had the Picto cheater. Then Verso got to go twice, not because of cheater, but because his base attack can go twice. Hit a guy with the base attack, move up your perfection rank, then mark an enemy with your second attack. Or try to break him with your light move. Then CL can go, apply rush, shell, and powerful to your entire party, then use the ability to make another person go ahead of you. Well, I let Mael go, because she can go twice. So in one turn, I let Mael go 1, 2, 3, 4 times, Verso twice, and CL twice. That's 8 moves before the enemy even gets to move. These are the kind of builds you can make in this game.
You're outmatched.
Alright, that was a chromatic boss.
But here's my problem. I have one tagline for the combat in Expedition 33 I like to call Feast or famine? 90% of my fights, and I'm not exaggerating this number, 90% of my fights, including boss fights, ended in either under 2 minutes or over 20 minutes. I continuously felt under-leveled and over-leveled in fights. Very rare did I have a fight where I felt like it was an even tug-of-war fight, both sides vying for momentum, the kind of fight that has you on the edge of your seat. The only edge of my seat sweatiness I had to endure was on boss fights where I felt somehow very underleveled, and my objection was to hopefully dodge every attack this guy can throw at me. Take the Duelist for an example.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Arguably the most celebrated boss fight in this game that I've seen. Everyone pretty much agrees this is the best boss fight. Why is that? Well, his moveset animations are pretty readable. You might not dodge every single one of them, but you'll get 9 out of 10. And the one he does hit won't instant kill you like half the other bosses on the other side. And he also won't die in 30 seconds.
Got combos to go, man.
Like, here's the main point I'm trying to get across about boss fights. I just do not like the boss fights at all in this game. Any boss fight that comes from the story, other than the Duelist, is so incredibly weak. Like, I'm not kidding you. Look at this one. This was literally, at the end of the game, you have to fight someone. I thought this is going to be a huge fight. 13 seconds? But yet, on the way to that boss fight, the huge story boss fight, the big hype moment, I just fought a random guy on the side, you know? Okay. And it ends up being 236 dodges in a row without, what Jesus Christ, Daffy Duck mode. And I find myself in a 16.5-minute fight where I need to dodge 236 times in a row without missing once because I will get one-shotted. And I even tried to do an HP build with Monaco, another party member that joins, who ends up, I ended up having like 10,500 HP. He got one-shotted because the enemy did 11,000 damage, so it didn't even matter. So I just reverted all my characters back to a glass cannon build. Like, I'm not kidding you when I say that story mode bosses literally take me under 2 minutes, but yet I go to try and fight a guy on the side and I'm in a 4 minutes, I had to do 153 consecutive dodges. Fight the main boss, I dodge 2 times, I do it for 1:50 and he's dead. I understand the concept of having special secret bosses that are really strong and OP, but despite difficulty of the memorization of just dodging attacks versus just literally walking through story bosses is honestly, like, I just don't like the boss fights in this game. Expedition 33 is a good sandbox for combat, so you can try to get the most max damage possible. You know, really fun to play around with builds and stuff, but honestly for me, I prefer almost any other turn-based system. And that is without mentioning really or going into gameplay modifiers, which I didn't really care about. Enemies can freeze you, enemies can put blight on you, which lowers your max HP, enemies can exhaust you so you don't gain AP, but you can't do any of this to the enemy, other than applying Shell, Powerful, and Rush, which you can do in one move with CL. You can't do anything else to buff you or debuff an enemy. Your moves are strictly damage based. There are a couple ice moves in this game which you can use to slow the enemies. There's also weaknesses in this game. Another thing I will tell you, I just don't care about. I'm sorry, I can't glaze this game right. My job as a reviewer is to tell my honest opinion here, and honestly, I didn't care about the weaknesses. There are affinities in this game such as electricity, earth, fire, ice. Enemies can be resistant and weak to stuff. If they're resistant, they take 50% less damage. Weak, they take 50% more. About halfway through the game, I literally stopped caring about this. I honestly forgot it was even a thing until I started writing this review. Why? My guy did so much damage, it didn't matter.
Oh, that's easy. There goes the boss. 29 seconds.
Presentation for Expedition 33 is this game's calling card. Here comes the glazing. If it wasn't for the original concept of the story, my favorite thing would definitely be the level design. They might as well get rid of the sprint in levels because you're going to be taking your damn time in these levels. Your neck, your character's neck, okay, will be injured and hurt from looking up and around so much. You just know, like, you can tell from the developer's perspective, they put in effort into every single level here. When I spotted a new open world portal thing in the overworld map for a new level, I was always like giddy, kicking my legs, because I just know when I walk through that thing, I'm gonna see some cool ass level design.
The sacred river. Minoko. Should we? Right. Not yet.
Okay, this place looks kind of hella cool.
Speaking of that overworld map, by the way, yeah, it's probably one of the best maps in gaming history. Probably right up there with things like Metaphor or Fantasio and stuff. I'm not kidding you. You can walk around as any of your characters in your party, and you're like in a sandbox. Quite literally a playable map. That is cool. Walk around, fly around. When I got to the point where I could have beat the final boss, I ended up flying around the map trying to find out all secrets and stuff, which I still didn't even find everything after spending like at least 11 hours searching the map. And those 11 hours really do fly by because your ears are accompanied by great music. I won't stand up and say it's on like Nier Automata's level or anything, but I will say it's great. The theme to the open world map, the main menu theme, really great. Honestly, the two ones that stick out to me, probably because I heard them the most, but I think Expedition 33 does something rare. And that rare thing is something I've, just off the top of my head, I've only seen once, which would be in Cyberpunk 2077. That thing is, action combat music is better than just normal ambient soundtracks.
I thought those were like fucking sea plants.
Action soundtracks are often forgettable because you're mostly focusing on combat and it just sounds like a mishmash of instruments in the background. But here, man, the soundtracks for combat are so good. They're so loud. Like, there are fights in this game where I like audibly out loud said like the music is so loud, it's drowning out the combat sound effects, it's drowning out the voice lines. It's like the music is making this fight seem way bigger than it actually is, and that's a good thing.
I love how loud the music is.
Feel the burn.
There's 11 burns on it.
The last thing to mention here under presentation, another positive. Enemy design. How do you pick a favorite? Like, there are so many good enemy designs here. It is fantastic. Like, off the top of my head, I don't like. If you asked me what my favorite enemy design was, I would just sit here and like mumble and like can go back and forth between one design or another. Overall impact. I hope it doesn't come across that I hate this game. I just can't glaze it and stand up and say this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, because I just honestly don't feel that at all. It's a game that had an amazing concept that in my opinion, dropped the ball extremely hard at the ending. Like, one of my favorite things in this game was finding previous expedition text logs, which by the way are audio logs. Huge plus there. I've said this since day one of my channel. Audio logs are always better than text logs.
Entire understanding of Neverons and the Patriots.
I just want to say I love they have voiceovers for text logs also. This is really freaking cool that you're going to be able to find logs from all previous expeditions to this island. That is literally freaking cool as hell.
But the whole concept of putting work in so that the expedition that comes after you can leapfrog off of your work that you put in to get closer to the painters. Just saying that cements the fact in your mind, the whole crew, we're dead. We're trying to get farther so the people behind us can step on us and get farther. Like, that is such a cool concept. And finding old expeditions like Expedition 50, Expedition 62, Expedition 38, like finding those old audio logs and notes from old expeditions and having lore reasons why, like Expedition 69 put up all of these wall braces for you to climb. Like, there are lore reasons why you can explore in this game. The problem is the ending. Again, I won't spoil, but the ending makes this all seem like nothing matters. Like, that all doesn't matter anymore. And there are some interesting things I still haven't mentioned, such as parkour levels. After you get used to how the mechanics work in this game, these become pretty easy, but they're really like long parkour levels. And if you get to the top, you just get a cosmetic. The cosmetics are cool. Like, some of them, I only used a couple through my playthrough, because like changing hairstyles and like changing suits really breaks the immersion for me. Because yes, this is also a positive, because whatever cosmetic you choose shows up in the cutscenes. That's really damn cool. Other small things I haven't mentioned: weapons having traits to them, huge plus. That's the only reason why I ever swap the builds at all, anytime. I ended up finding this fire sword for Mael, and it was like, every time you apply a burn stack, apply another one. I was like, I'll try that out. I ended up applying 84 burn stack in one move.
Shit off this.
Witness the sight.
I just 84 burn in one turn? What? Yeah, he's gonna have to equip that. Play again after base attack? Huh? Huh? That's OP. 50% increase. What?
The upgrade systems across the board are double-edged swords, in my opinion. I love how easily you can upgrade your health tints, your revive tints, your AP tints. The weapon upgrade system is very nice and well done. But the Lumina upgrade system, like, you get a select amount of Lumina, and if you spread it out across the entire board, all 4 or 5 party members, right, then they're all even. But you can only run 3 party members, so you might as well stack it all onto 3 people. Besides, the more Lumina points you have, the more Picto passives you can come in. You could just make Hulk teams. And with the fact that your teams are already chemistry based, playing off of each other, you might end up like me, where you have 3 permanent members and 2 reserve members permanently on the bench for the entire game. I had no incentive at all to ever play my 2 reserve members, ever. Their only goal was if I died and the boss had like 2 HP left, or if I died and a hard boss had full HP left, they come in there to either finish the boss off or memorize his attack moves. That was their only like will to, like, that's why they're there. But that's Expedition 33. Genuinely, I don't think this is a 10 out of 10 game. While it is a metaphorical middle finger to the AAA gaming industry and does some incredible things as indie devs, such as using the Unreal Engine phone application to record their mocap. The mocap looks incredible in this game, and then I learned that they did it off a phone, and now I'm just blown away. While I disagree with how the story ended, and I can argue against boss fights and main combat as a whole, I can't deny the story concept had me glued in for the entire first act, and I love the level design. Whatever Sandfall Interactive does next, I will be there. Believe it or not, I will be there. I actually don't think it's going to be an Expedition sequel. I'm pretty sure they might do a new IP or something. Whatever it is, I will still be there. Expedition 33, I can't glaze a 10 out of 10, but what I can do is give it an 8.2. So that's it. Expedition 33 is done. I know I said I generally don't play games off release. With that being said, I'm going to do back-to-back games off release, because my next game, releasing 2 days from me saying this sentence, releases on July 24th, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Literally going to be my first Souls-like. I've been in tricycle training. I played Stellar Blade, which is Souls Light, and the parry system in Expedition 33 is basically turn-based Souls-like. So, let's see what's in store for me. For now, I'm your host, Beneath the Mask. I hope you enjoy this review. Peace out.
Bridge for those who come after. Expedition 3-5 is over. But tomorrow comes.
Wow. Let's go. What the fuck? What? Where'd this guy come from? What the hell? Are you shitting me? What? This guy was literally fucking camping me.
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half of that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.